Bugonia.
I never know what you're going to come out with those. It's so good. I'm Timmy Flynn, film expert.
And I'm Leigh Livingstone, entertainment journalist and bee enthusiast.
Bee enthusiast. I'm the beekeeper.
Oh, that's a very different film.
A very different film. But we do equally love to talk all things movies.
We do.
Whether it's Bugonia or the beekeeper.
Yep. In Bugonia, two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth.
Bugonia is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos from a screenplay by Will Tracy.
The film stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, Stavros Halkias, and Alicia Silverstone.
I know. I actually didn't know she was in this film.
As if.
As if. Again, Clueless, a very different film
Very
to
different
Bugonia.
Bugonia is a remake of the 2003 South Korean cult film Save the Green Planet by Jang Joon-hwan, interestingly.
Interesting.
I looked up the trailer of that film.
Okay.
Very different film.
How? Like tonally, visually?
Tonally. Oh, yes, tonally. It's
How would you compare?
very out there, very high energy, very similar ideas though. You can see the heart of it that Yorgos Lanthimos has taken to make his film.
But decided, I'm going to do something a little different.
A bit more Western world.
Yeah.
A bit more Yorgos Lanthimos style.
Of which he has a singular type of
Yes.
vision as a filmmaker, doesn't he?
Yeah. So as we mentioned, the film is about two conspiracy-obsessed young men, a beekeeper and his cousin, who kidnap a powerful pharmaceutical CEO, played by Emma Stone, who they believe to be an alien from Andromeda intent on destroying Earth.
A very normal thing to believe
Yes.
in the context of this film. It's a pretty exciting premise, and you know, there's been a lot of buzz about Bugonia on the film festival circuit, and we were lucky enough to see it at South by Southwest Sydney in a packed out cinema, because with the concepts and ideas, characters, and that umbrella of conspiracy theorists, it was so fun to watch this movie with an audience reacting live.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And they were reacting. Like
yeah.
the building of the story and the things that were happening,
Yeah.
like in Yorgos Lanthimos style, getting worse and worse and
Yeah.
more out there. Yeah. Like people were just,
It was such uncomfortable reactions.
Yeah.
And then also, like, this movie is quite funny too. So
Yeah.
you may not have realized that something was so witty and quick, but because you heard that little sniggle laugh in the corner, it made more people realize, oh, fuck,
That was funny.
that was funny.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's great shared cinema experience, this film.
Development of this film began around 2020 with Will Tracy, who co-wrote The Menu with Seth Reese.
Which is one of our most recent
Yes.
favorite films.
Yes. He was adapting the screenplay, and Ari Aster was originally going to produce,
Oh.
interestingly.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see why he would have been drawn as a filmmaker to this story for sure.
But then Yorgos Lanthimos came on board as director in 2024.
He's pumping out movies, isn't he?
Yeah, I've heard he's going to take a break now, though.
Okay.
I've seen an interview where he said he was going to take a bit of a break because he's made like 3 films in 3 years.
And like Poor Things,
Yep, Kinds of Kindness.
Kinds of Kindness, and then Bugonia, all 3 with Emma Stone. So he takes a break, then she'll obviously take a break of Yorgos films.
We talked about this on a previous episode of Popcorn Podcast. I think we were talking about whether it's
They need a break from each other.
yeah, whether it's good or bad thing that directors work with the same actors all the time.
I get the idea of a muse as an artist, because you bring a certain style and you connect with an actor and how they work and how you conjure ideas together and put them on celluloid.
And it's an enjoyable working experience because you probably have like a shorthand with each other. And
Yeah. People don't leave jobs, they leave bosses, right?
Yeah.
So, you know.
if you're working with a good boss, stick with it.
Yeah. I mean, you had Spielberg who made a couple of movies with Tom Cruise. You have Martin Scorsese, who's made a bunch of films with Leonardo DiCaprio. But when they do go off and do their own thing, it's kind of exciting and fun, but it's always nice to see them come back together, which I think we will get with Emma Stone, no doubt, soon.
Yes.
Again.
We'll see what she can do elsewhere.
Yeah.
The themes of the film attack corporate greed, environmental collapse, conspiracy culture, alienation, identity. It taps into these like real world anxieties that are escalating at the moment with
Yeah.
social media and with certain leaders in power in certain parts of the world.
Indeed.
Growing echo chambers with social media, which is especially a big problem. The distrust of the elite, distrust of online world.
The patriarchy.
Yeah,
all those things.
it's less pure sci-fi.
Yeah.
If that's what people might be expecting.
When you explain the premise of the film, they think she's an alien. It's like, well, it's not really a sci-fi film at all.
No.
It's deep, it's raw, it's gritty, and it feels quite real. And you're watching this film about these characters who so strongly believe these conspiracies that she is an alien. And they've got this whole like story set up, and there's this process and all that sort of stuff. And it's crazy, isn't it?
What they never really address is where they get this information from. Because he has such detail about how to stop her from, I put in air quotes, contacting her mothership by covering her in some kind of cream and
Repellent.
shaving her head
Yeah.
because her hair contacts.
Is the sort of cable, if you will, to make contact.
Yeah.
These crazy ideas.
Yeah, where did you get this from? They don't really address that, but he somehow knows all of this stuff. So
I think you're right that it doesn't necessarily address it, but if you position it within where we are today and how conspiracy theorists and people within echo chambers is exacerbated by the connection to technology and conversation and forums online and just that unlimited access to quote unquote information and facts. So I feel like that these characters have gone down this internet rabbit hole and conjured
pieced all
up.
these things together. It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense and to anyone except them.
Because it doesn't.
Because it doesn't.
And that's quite fun. That's like the puzzle of this movie and how and why, trying to understand that they believe this thing and having, I guess, some sort of empathy as you sort of understand where they're coming from. It's it's an interesting scenario.
I really like that the film keeps you guessing.
Oh, doesn't it?
And
just
switching whose side you're on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like it's always challenging you. Do you sympathize with the kidnappers or do you sympathize with the captive? Like it's really interesting in that way.
Yeah, because they come from two very different worlds. She's this high-powered CEO who does and says very CEO things.
Oh God,
Leave
the
work at
corporates.
5:30.
The corporate speak. Can we have
Yeah.
a dialogue about this, please?
It's just this. What's great about this film is that like the ideas are grand, but it's so intimate because it's definitely a character performance piece where these 2-3 handers between these characters is just gripping.
If you're a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos' work, like The Favourite, The Lobster, Poor Things, you will enjoy this. Others might find the film a bit bleak and unsettling, which is also the point.
It is very much the point.
An absurdist black comedy.
Yeah. Yes.
Emphasis on the absurd.
Emphasis on the absurd. Look, we go to see films to conjure up certain feelings. So if you're going to tap into something that's fun and you walk out clicking your heels and wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
You're not going to get that with Bugonia.
No.
So if you go in knowing you're going to be challenged, you're going to be disturbed and it's going to fucking rattle you, then...
And there is some twists, my friend.
Oh, so exciting.
Oh, listener,
Which
strap in. We're
spoil
not going
free.
to. Yeah, we're not going to
Spoil-free.
spoil it for you, but strap in.
But you think you know...
You
and
do
you
not know.
don't.
You do not know.
Multiple times. Like how you go between the characters and connecting with them at different moments. It's like you really do not know where this film is going to go.
No, you don't. The title of Bugonia, it's quite clever. It references an ancient Mediterranean belief that bees can spontaneously generate from the carcasses of dead animals. And once you see the film, that's actually quite clever.
That is clever. I was waiting for, I guess, that connection with the bees and what they're about.
Yeah.
They play into the whole queen bee thing, and
Yep.
Emma Stone's character's CEO sort of represents the queen bee of
Yeah.
the corporate world. So there's a lot of parallels to the idea of bees
Yep.
and the workers, of which these characters are, the coal miners, quote unquote, where they're forgotten, they've got no purpose, they're not being heard.
The bees being a symbol of also climate change and the
Yes.
way the world is slowly decaying.
And the idea of this conspiracy theory is that the aliens are on Earth to destroy humans. And so they want to go up to the mothership and negotiate the terms of the aliens' retreat from Earth. Like, you're hearing this right.
And they are the ones to do it for some reason.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
crazy.
God. Yorgos Lanthimos, if you're not familiar with his work, he's a Greek-born filmmaker known for distinctive off-kilter works of art, really.
He's a provocateur.
Yes,
Yeah.
Provocateur. As we said, he works a lot with Emma Stone. In Bugonia, he returns to more the basics of storytelling, though. I think he strips away some of that lavish period piece stuff that he is known for, and that we saw in Poor Things and The Favourite.
Yeah.
This film, it is psychological in its reflection of our real anxieties about life. You know, it's described as a dystopia, but it's not really a dystopian world. The dystopia is within ourselves, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really cool way of putting it. Because maybe in the peripherals there is a dystopian world around these characters, but it is so focused on like where we are with this story, with these characters. You don't really see much of what may or may not be happening in the world, but I guess it's implied. And the mirror is being held up to the audience as well, because like you said, it sort of reflects what we are seeing in leaders and corporations and the environment that's happening to us at this very moment.
But it's still weird. It's still Yorgos Lanthimos weird.
It's still Yorgos Lanthimos weird. But I really liked him leaning into, you know, directing his characters and watching them play and say very verbose things from time to time, if it's the corporate speak of Emma Stone's character or just the sort of every person type of dialogue that Jesse Plemons' character leans into as well. It was a very, very intimately told story with grand ideas.
Yeah, I like that you said grand, actually, because it did feel very epic, and especially in the score, which we'll talk about a bit later.
Absolutely.
But it also just like builds. It builds. And a friend of the podcast, Justin Hill, pointed out after the screening that the violent aspects aren't really shown. So he holds back on that.
Yes.
Do you remember, like, there's little bits of violence. It's not overly violent, but there are some shocking big moments.
Oh, yeah.
But they aren't really shown on screen until you start to get towards the end. And then it suddenly becomes more brutal. And it's like he's hooked you in and he's drawn you in. And then he's like, rah, I got you now.
And he fucking gets us. It shows restraint as a filmmaker, because it would be so tempting to just go balls to the wall really early on with this film, but building that tension, helping you piece a puzzle together. Fuck me, there's a couple of pieces of this puzzle that you don't find until right at the end, and that's really exciting as an audience. But I think with that tension and those techniques, it builds into something that you cannot shake.
No, it stays with you.
It stays with you. I was walking to the bus with Justin after the screening, and the whole like walk that we had, which was like 15 minutes, we were just talking the movie. Yeah. Like we didn't change the subject to talk about, so what are you doing tomorrow? It's like, no, let's just keep diving into Bugonia.
Isn't that exciting though? Isn't that what you want from a film? Like you want that feeling of walking out of the cinema and dissecting it with the person you just saw it. Like, what did we just see? What was that? What was great about it? What was, it was fun. And it's interesting to note that I think it was mostly shot on 35mm VistaVision.
Yeah.
So that gives it that grand sort of look. And apparently that's one of the largest uses of the format since the early 1960s.
Yeah.
It gave it that, like as you said, gritty is maybe not the right word, but it gave it that kind of...
The word that we used before, grand, like the camera angles, and then that almost like fisheye lens view, a lot of low angles going up with Emma Stone because she asserts power.
Yeah.
And then the dynamics of that shot changes when she's in captivity and it's more looking down on her. VistaVision is like a bit of a buzz thing at the moment. You had the Brutalist using it. I mean, there's a lot of IMAX stuff
that
happening.
helped with the period piece, though, of the Brutalist.
Yeah. But it's beautifully used in Bugonia.
Gosh, that film was too long.
The Brutalist.
Yeah, God, it was too long. Anyway... Moving on, let's talk about Emma Stone as Michelle Fuller, the high-powered CEO abducted by our protagonists. Emma Stone reportedly shaved her head for the role, very strong visual transformation, and she's just so good at balancing satire, vulnerability, and intensity.
Oh, yeah.
In what is a challenging role, because she is captive for a lot of the movie.
Yeah, she is. She's chained to a nasty mattress in the basement. I just admire Emma Stone as an actor. She's won 2 Oscars now, one, working with Yorgos. But I admired her restraint at times of being such a calm, calculated, the perfect CEO. You used, let's have a dialogue about this, that language that she used.
Let's unpack this.
It's so unsettling, but it's fucking triggering because you see and are subject to that in the workplace sometimes.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, I have had an Emma Stone boss.
Yeah. Yes. We all have, I'm sure.
Yeah. She's so good.
Very, very good. You've talked a lot about this, that Jesse Plemons you feel was the standout as Teddy Gatz, the beekeeper / conspiracy theorist / alien negotiator.
/ the human resistance.
Human resistance, yeah. He was in Kinds of Kindness with Emma Stone, so they've worked together before. His performance as Teddy is drawing a lot of praise. It's very sweaty, it's very desperate, but it's also very intelligent.
Yes, he's a smart man. And this is the thing. You think these conspiracy theorists are, hillbilly rednecks. I guess they're yearning for information and to educate themselves on something. And the crazy thing about like conspiracy theorists and people who are caught in that echo chamber is that they believe these things so strongly, but they're prepared to answer and challenge you on anything. And even if you don't believe them where they're coming from, it's actually quite admirable in their ability to justify their belief.
Yeah. Yeah, the justification was wild. Like some of it you're like, what?
And you're like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
But it must have come from somewhere.
You discover later on in the film where it's actually
come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved his performance, and I think he is the award contender in this film. There are great performances everywhere you look.
Yep.
But he felt so dangerous in this movie as an actor. Those moments where he would, out of nowhere, explode.
Yeah.
And you were like, I need to shift in my seat because
you didn't see it coming.
You never saw it coming. And it was used sparingly but so effectively. And I love those choices that an actor make.
It's that building tension that is throughout the film as well.
So many chills thinking about his performance.
Yeah. Another great performance is Aidan Delbis as Don, who's his cousin. Notably, the actor who played this role is neurodivergent.
Yes.
And it's his first feature film.
Can you imagine being your first film?
This being your first feature film, my God.
Like the heat around Yorgos as a filmmaker, the incredible pedigree of Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, and you're sharing multiple scenes and you are an important player in this movie. He's so good in this.
Yorgos Lanthimos has described his role as the soul of the film. I think that's quite true.
Yeah.
That is quite true because of his perspective in bringing a voice of logic in the chaos. And also it helped that I really didn't know who we should be trusting.
Yeah.
Even him.
Exactly. And what I think is really apparent here is the beautiful chemistry that he had with Jesse and the humanity. And the character of Don, he would ask questions throughout the film and you'd be like, oh, I haven't thought of that. Or more interestingly, why is he asking that question?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
What's his real role here?
What is his real role here? Does he even know what his role is in this film? And it was such an interesting balance of power that shifted throughout the film.
Yeah, it was really well done. Alicia Silverstone popped up, as you said.
Yeah.
Cher, you okay?
You okay, girl?
You okay, girl?
Answer, no.
No. Short answer is definitely not.
There's so many shocking things in this film, but how she showed up in the movie made me go, okay, what is really going on here? And I loved that they don't silver platter hand that to you in any way. You piece those puzzles together. I do wonder how she came to be in this film, though.
Yeah, it's a bit wild. And I think sometimes her character was used for shock value.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would have liked to understood more about her relationship to the characters and what was going on. It was definitely an interesting, a shocking part of the story. Stavros Halkias, though, explain his role to me as the policeman and all the things that they were alluding to. I just thought, why are you adding that layer?
It just made you ask more questions. It made you feel more uncomfortable.
Is that what you think the purpose was? For our listener, without giving too much away, it seemed to be alluding to the fact that he was the babysitter of the cousins when they were younger, and then maybe he had assaulted them in some way.
Yeah. And it was dealt with.
It was never really addressed. It was weird.
It was one of those, I have to laugh because I don't know what else to do, because he would approach it in such an awkward way.
And maybe it was just a way to get him to this location.
As a plot device in a way. Yeah, interesting.
I'm not sure. It was something that did feel a bit out of place to me in the story.
I reckon, because you always call out these stuff and I often agree about characters who don't necessarily need to be there, but the story can still progress and have an impact. Do you think that if you removed all his scenes, maybe bar one, could have he been left on the cutting room floor?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad he was there, but it did leave more questions and asking, was he absolutely necessary? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the production design and the sound design. The sound design was absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Composer Jerskin Fendrix. This is his third collaboration with Yorgos Lanthimos. A 90-piece orchestra was used.
I believe that.
to give the film that epic dramatic feel, and boy, did it work.
It showed up in such perfect ways, and it jolted you in your seat because it went this grandiose, intense choices to like elevate the drama on screen. And it then played to what you said before around like the choice of vision and the pairing of music and sound. And the vision was exciting.
It almost alluded to one of those classic sci-fi films like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where the soundtrack is just so epic.
It felt Kubrick-like at times.
According to the production notes, Fendrix composed the score from a set of keywords rather than seeing any footage.
What does that mean? Like
it means that I guess he was given some descriptives about the film, and then it does give it an odd, almost dislocating effect because he doesn't know what he's composing for. And then it's being slotted into these scenes that it makes the scenes feel epic and like something big is coming. Like it makes you feel like something huge is coming.
Oh, yeah.
But then the composer doesn't know what's going on.
It's so interesting that the brief that directors give their composers can be so unexpected. I know Christopher Nolan briefs in like Hans Zimmer in really unique and interesting ways.
Okay,
his films like Interstellar, where he didn't tell him what the film was about, or he gave him a very small nugget of what Interstellar was about. Didn't really allude to the fact that it was sci-fi in any way, but it was like about a father and a son or whatever. And then he goes on, creates one of the greatest music, compositions of all fucking time.
I guess you want to do something original, don't you? You want to make it original and take away that bias that the composer might have from what he's seen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We want to talk about the production design. We spend a lot of time in and around this decrepit house that these characters live in. And the basement was... it was so unsettling. I felt so dirty in how it was dressed and how the characters showed up and how they would interact in there. I felt
cluttered, run down,
dirty,
isolated.
I wanted to have a shower after this film for more reasons
More than one.
one. But I think that the production design really spoke to the mental state of some of these characters and then sort of the action that comes from that.
Yorgos Lanthimos wanted to film the climax of the film at the Acropolis in Greece. Ooh. You'll see why when you see the film. You'll understand why. But he was refused, and so it was filmed on an island, another Greek island instead. So,
I kind of want to see that version.
Yeah.
Now that's really cool. What a shame.
But I mean, by that point, were you noticing the production design by that point? When everything started unraveling and the big reveals are happening, were you really paying attention to the background?
No, and do you know what? I feel like this film warrants and demands a second viewing to see what you do pick up and notice. That's a really interesting question. But no, in the moment, no, I didn't. Were you?
No.
Noticing things?
No.
I think they've
by
done
that stage,
their job.
You're really listening to the performances.
100%.
And
Yeah.
It's all getting wrapped up for you, and it's interesting. And you do actually have to concentrate. Again, can't reveal why, but you do need to really concentrate at the end to figure out what's happening.
100%. You're leaning in so fucking far by that point. What do you reckon, Leigh? Do you have anything else to add, or should we wrap up our take on Bugonia?
Let's wrap it up. Bugonia is a sharp, unsettling entry in Yorgos Lanthimos' career that is more immediate than his previous films. It's rooted in our anxieties around corporations, conspiracy, and alienation. With strong performances, bold visual choices, and a quirky layered design, it's fascinating, but it may, ironically, alienate some people. Some will love its bleak edge and twisted humour. Others may find its lack of optimism and vicious turns off-putting.
Lack of optimism.
Yeah, it's not really. It's pretty bleak.
It's pretty fucking bleak. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, what a ride Bugonia is. Go in knowing nothing because the payoff is incredibly exciting. Emma Stone delivers yet again, but it's Jesse Plemons who steals the show. tense, unexpected, and funny. Yorgos Lanthimos injects his flair and precision in taking the audience on an absurd journey, yet perhaps a bit slow to progress. Maybe, people like...
Were you finding pacing issues?
But like small pacing issues.
Okay.
I think they're immediately forgiven because of what you get at the end.
I was so drawn into the performances, I didn't notice.
Yeah, I was just uncomfortable. And I think I'm like, oh my God, just keep going.
Yeah.
A conspiracy theorist's wet dream. That's what this is.
Bugonia is in Australian cinemas from October 30.
As always, friends, it's such a privilege for you to join us.
We'll catch you next time.
Hey, did you know Popcorn Podcast is completely independently owned and operated by a small team of passionate film lovers? And while we're dedicated to connecting with you through your love of movies, it comes at a cost.
Anything you can do to help keep us going is hugely appreciated. Whether it's simply supporting Popcorn Podcast with a like, a comment, or sharing Popcorn Podcast with your friends on social media or YouTube.
Or even shouting us a movie snack like some yummy popcorn at buymeacoffee.com/popcorn podcast. It all helps us to keep bringing you that salty movie content that will help you decide what to watch next.